Good afternoon and welcome to an addendum video for today. Already had a couple questions about the last problems on the worksheet for pre-calculus. Here asking about finding the slope of the secant line as the values get closer together from either side. I gave a quick overview of what that would that process would look like during class. I'm going to go ahead and do one of the example problems, or I guess do one of the questions as an example, so you can see how to do that for 13 and 15. It's not really that different from the previous questions. It just requires a little bit more setup, and you're finding multiple secant lines, multiple slopes per question here. So when they say, as the values get closer together from either side, they provide this example. What if you went from negative 1.1 to 0.1? Or to negative 1, right? That's a difference of 0.1. Or what about negative 1.01 to negative 1? So now the difference is only 0.01. So it's a much smaller gap between the 2 points. A more accurate secant line closer and closer to that tangent. But they want you to find it from both sides. So don't just add 0.1 and 0.01, also subtract 0.1 and 0.01 from either side. So for question 14 here, what we want to start with is a table where we will find the values of, in this case, looking at negative 3 here. And then we're going to add and subtract 0.1. So we'll get negative 2.9 and negative 3.1. And we also want to do 0.01. I know technically it would be closer. Right, so one more digit further away. And yeah, the order on my table here doesn't matter, but you get the idea, right? 0.1 higher, 0.1 lower, or I guess they're negative, so this is 0.1 higher, 0.1 lower, and 0.01 higher and lower. And then, of course, you're going to fill in, right, your table, because you need those y values to create a point on the graph. I've saved myself a little bit of time and gone ahead and used Desmos here. You can use your graphing calculator for this process. Do not feel like you need to plug and chug numbers by hand anymore. You're seniors now. You have calculators. There's a TI-84 app now on the Chromebooks. So I'm just going to take those numbers there. You can see the graph here is a parabola, and all of those numbers clump up here. Notice my 0.1 away, and then my 0.01s are really close together. So we're going to take, let's see, 5, and then it's 0.0401. So we've got 5 here, 0401, and this was 41 without the zeros. That's kind of handy. And then what else? 4.61, 4.9601. 4.61, 4.9601. All right, now that I have those values, now I have 5 points on the parabola. I need to connect them, right? So just to, I'll do it in red to match, just to recreate the Desmos picture. We had 1 point here. We had 2 points pretty close, and then 2 points much farther away. We want to check the secant line from here to here, and from here to here on both ends. So that one and that one. I'm making my lines with a slight curve so you can see what we're connecting there. So between this point and the 0.01 away, we're going to find the slope there. So that'll be slope on the, this is more negative, so that'll be the left-hand side, right? And then you'll do the same thing there. Find the slope between those 2 points. And then find the slope for the right-hand side between these sets of points. Whoops. That would be between the center and second value there. Okay, so 4 slope calculations will give you 4 different lines, as opposed to prior ones where they just said, hey, between these 2 points, what's the slope there? You'll only have 1 value to approximate. This will give you 4 values close to your slope. All right, so you have 4 values of slope. Find the slope of the secant line on each interval. That would be these m's here. Then write the equation of the secant line through that point. The secant, quote unquote, which really they mean, you know, almost tangent. Right? So final step would be to take all of these together and estimate one slope value that is the closest to them, right? And that should be pretty close, especially these two right here should be pretty close to each other. What number stands out to you as being in the middle? Is it exactly, 3 or 3.5? They're really close to this nice round, friendly number. Find the friendliest number between there. If you have to take an average, that's okay too. And then use that along with this point here. To write an equation, because they want ultimately an equation for that line. So point, slope, use point slope form. And that will be the end of it. Okay, that's all you need to do. I'm trying to keep this short, so I trust you to be able to calculate slope based on those numbers. I don't need to show you how to do that part anymore, but there is the full structure of one of these questions. Let me know if you have any other trouble, and keep on keeping on. So long, farewell, enjoy the rest of your day.